you can see, there's a mess made here. You can kind of see a couple pieces of frame laying up here. Wonder what that came off of. So, being as how we're waiting on some parts and figure I better start working on the front suspension of the truck, and I've already, where it was easy to do some of, went ahead and welded some of that together and grinded it down, get that to where it's piece. I actually put filler pieces in behind that and really buried the weld to it to get it hot, and bind those two pieces of metal to where it's solid. And we'll go over more of that as I go to do that job. But yes, I cut the frame section in two because we'll be widening it 9 inches anyways, roughly 9 inches. And I've got it in this little kiddie pool, or it was a dog pool for washing your dog or something. And so I got that one. And the reason it's sitting in this pool is because I'm going to use something today that I've used before, and that is Safest Rust Remover. Now, I was looking around, and I guess you don't see a lot about this on YouTube. I mean, there's videos, but it's nothing that really jumps out at you. And just to show you here, I've got a jug, Safest Rust Remover, already diluted. I've had this jug for a while. I'm actually going to pour this one in first, and then add my new to it. But I've used this stuff before. Anybody who doesn't know about this stuff, it's not quick, but it's not acid, so you can like dip your hand in it, and when you're done, when it loses its dilution properties, just pour it out outside. That's why they call it Safest Rust Remover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set things up here, and we'll get the test rolling. You can see how it's working, and then we'll come back later and see how it's done, and you guys can see this stuff at work, and hopefully my frame section gets rid of all the surface rust and all the rust up inside the frame, and gets really nice to work on. That way we can continue on with this, because I get this ready and I get my flywheel back, because it's out being balanced right now. I got a little bit of touch up to do on the weld for the exhaust, but so I gotta take it all off there, and I'm gonna paint it, coat it anyways with ceramic paint coating, and then I'm gonna wrap it. But yeah, this needs to be done. So Safest Rust Remover, and they're not paying for this video. We don't have a sponsor yet. We'd like to have one. Anybody watching? We would like to have one. But I've used them before. Here's the downside. This stuff's really cool, and I really like it. That jug right there was $100, and that jug down there was $100. Now this is the concentrate, so this makes 5 gallons when mixed with regular tap water. So I've got enough to make 10 gallons here, plus my jug that I've already got. It's a little expensive, but you can just keep using it and keep using it and keep using it until it quits working. And I mean, it does its job. So sometimes you get what you pay for. So I'll get set up. We'll see what's going on here. So first thing first, I'm going to use my jug of the old stuff I've got mixed up and dump it in there. And yeah, I know it's a little discolored, but it'll be fine. It'll all be discolored when it's over with. Good news about this is this will allow me to go get 2.5 gallons per trip, or just 2 gallons, and this actually has lines on it, so I get my mixing all right. So there's that. So now I've got my lines on my jug. So now let's go get 4 4 gallons of this, and we'll pour the first bottle in and see what level that puts us at. Okay, so this is my second trip. So this would be 4 gallons of water. I can tell you right now, I'm definitely going to have to be using both of them. But we'll go ahead and do our first gallon of this. Best part about this is I have these gloves. I ain't gonna worry about the fumes of it because they don't really even have a smell to it. There's that. So now, right now I can see that my pickup's not even fully submerged, even though it's not level, but so I'm gonna go get some more water and then we'll dump the second one in. Okay. This makes 8 gallons of water added to the whole mix at this point. So I had roughly about, I don't know, 1.5 gallons in here pre-mixed. I put a gallon of mix in. I've had 8 gallons of water now. And now another gallon of the mix. Okay, there we go. So now, let me get you guys moved over here and we'll take a look. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, that's not fully submerged. You're right, it's not. That's why I've got the, sorry about that. That's why I've got the dolly sitting here with the pipe hanging off of it, because I have another plan. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at what's going on here. So my pickup, it's setting up an angle. So I'm gonna try and wedge it somewhere where it can't scoot up. There we go. That will stay right there. Okay. Now, I'll take you for a tour. What I have is, I have a pickup there. And I have a 120 volt pump here, going to another line. I've got my regular sprayer there. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna zip tie the sprayer to the pipe I've got here. Back in the stand, get us brought back up. So, and what I'll do is I'll get that set up and we'll turn the pump on. I should have like a cascading system that will go over the metal parts. And we'll see how well that goes. So let me get some zip ties. And of course, after the whole water sandblasting tobacco and that deal not working, I wanted to stick with something I felt good about knowing would work. And like I said, I know this stuff's expensive, but I want this done so I can move on and weld to it. And we've been storing this piece outside, so it's got some surface rust on it that it won't have on it later. We won't be putting it back outside again. So, get some zip ties here. And there's that. So now, let me go ahead and turn my pump on. Alright. afraid of. That little thing's loud. I want to keep that mist, but I don't really want it to go outside of the containment here. I think I'll leave that like that. Now you guys can't hardly tell there, but that there is a mist that's going out here and keeping all this wet. And that's the trick, I just need to keep it all wet. I don't like how it looks like it's sticking outside the... Do that, see if that helps. Kind of watching the splatter, making sure it doesn't go outside the little pool here. And I may have to, so this one here is getting right down in the frame and soaking through. I may have to do this a couple times and resituate everything. My pump's leaking, that's not good. Okay, so we'll let that run for a little bit, and then I'll get back with you guys and let you know how it goes. Alright guys, I'm going to apologize for a second when we walk over by this pump because it's loud, but I want to give you a look at this before I leave the garage for today. So it's been running for a little over an hour now. I did, as you can see, I put up some splash shields and stuff. Keep it from losing my water out on the ground, making it drip back in. And we're already an hour. I mean, this piece right here is probably the most impressive. And then the piece underneath of it there, it's all dribbling down on it. So, I'm gonna let it run for a little while. Dad's coming by the garage later. He's gonna shut it off for the night. And then maybe we'll run it some tomorrow and a few days through the week, just here and there. And then probably next weekend when I come to work at the garage, I'll flip that and let it run all day while we're working on other stuff. I'm thinking that ought to be pretty well good, so I want to get down in the spring pockets and stuff as well, which I mean we're doing right now because it's getting down inside there and definitely down inside that one. So we'll just let it run and see how it does. That's all we can do. But yeah, that right there is looking real good already. So, and according to their paperwork that comes with and their big advertisement, I'm setting this thing back on here. So according to their big advertisement, they had an old Ford 9-inch and it had like 28 years of rust on it. And it took them 7 hours of cascading over it to straighten it up. So I'm thinking this week, if that helps me out, we can get more than 7 hours on this side, which means it ought to be really nice. And then we'll flip it and do it the other side. And what didn't run down in there and take care of itself, we'll put some direct water on that. And if I let it run for a few hours Saturday while I'm working, that ought to be the end of it, ought to be done. And then I can actually put that into a smaller container and I can go ahead and dip my lower A-arms because I will be keeping them. I'm probably going to get brand new uppers and we'll just go ahead and use this stuff till it quits working. But yeah, I'll check back in a few days and we'll let you guys know how it went. Alright guys, so it's been a week. And I'm going to show you what we've got right now and tell you where I'm going from here. So, Dad has been running this some through the week for me while he's on his bus ride, because we just want to leave it plugged in and leave it spraying all the time. And as you can tell, they're flipped over now because they were the other direction we started. I just ordered another gallon of the concentrate. I know it sucks that I'm going to have $300 in this, but the finished product, man, is what we're after. And you just can't get metal clean like that with a wire wheel. I mean, it's like brand new metal. So, hoping to, and you can see down in there where it's been hitting there, that's not shiny, that's bare metal. So, I'm hoping get my other gallon. It'll be a couple days coming in. Here's the cool thing too. You can still see some of the factory paint there, that it's not taking the paint off. It leaves the paint alone. It'll take the rust off. That's crazy, isn't it? So anyways, yeah, we're gonna keep letting it run with this stuff. As you can see, it's not clear anymore, it's awfully dark. And then I'm gonna put another gallon in it and then mix my 4 other gallons of water, get me some more, and some fresh activator, however you want to call that, and let it run like this for a few more days, and we'll touch base again, see how well it's done. I may not get every single bit of the rust off of it, but I at least want to get enough off there to where it's something minimal that I can coat with paint and not have to worry about it rusting through again. Even if I have to put like a rust converter or something on top of it, I just want most of it gone. Because I know it looked like it had a bunch of surface rust on it, but as you can see here, the metal is actually in pretty good shape, even at the lowest portion of the frame, because that would be the underneath side there. So we're in good shape on that. So, all right, well, I'll get my other gallon added into it, and we'll touch base again when we get a little further. See you guys later. So I have pumped some of the rust remover out back into the original containers. As you can see, it's quite a bit dark. I don't know that the activity on it's much anymore. I'm going to do some testing on some smaller items with less rust and see if it'll do anything before I pitch it. Yeah, it done a really good job for the most part, and I could do better, but you know, this stuff's $100 for a gallon of concentrate, and I feel like for the most part the heavy rust is gone. I may buy some more and continue this with this pump here later on to get this where I want it at, but I want to take it all apart and clean this tub out, because get rid of all the stuff that you can see there's some cake to the bottom, rinse it all out, because if I put new fluid in here, this stuff here may cause it to lose its activity, and I'd really rather it be working on the rust. But you can see that, like even there, you still see some of the factory paint of the frame. It leaves the paint on. It just gets rid of the rust. And that's some of that, like right there. I mean, that is brand new metal. It's amazing. So yeah, I got a few things I'm going to test to do and maybe do a little bit different. The internal frame horns there, well, it's not horns anymore, it was the cross member. I may do a dunk with a bucket and set that up somehow where it supports, and maybe the ends do the same thing, and let it do a submersion rather than a cascade system. Not sure yet. So but we're going to call this one. If you guys are interested in this stuff, once again, Save Us Rust Remover. This video's been stretched out over a couple weeks, but we've been playing, and it does work over time. And for something where you don't have to put any elbow grease into it, just let it cascade over it, and it doesn't harm anything. So, I mean, I've been running it through plastic tube and a little sump pump here recently. That was a better deal than trying to use that thing. This is low pressure. I would recommend anybody, if they're going to do the cascading system, that's a fish tank pump is what that is. I would do that again. And you can still see some factory paint down in there. Check that out. So anyways, guys, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. and we'll see what we get into next. This is going to go a lot further because we're not just trying to remove rust off this. This is going to be part of the International. So see where it goes from here, and we'll see you guys later.